Yeah. So you said something about 20s. I want to debunk something. Your 20s is actually the best time to start your life insurance.
But what if they don't have children?
It doesn't matter, actually.
So what happens?
Because it's not really about your children. It's about, your family. And
what if the family is doing okay?
The family can be doing okay, right? But the thing about the premium, the way the premiums are calculated is higher. The older you are, the higher it is. And the more you have to pay. Mm-hmm. But if you're younger, you're able to finish on time. And then there are even plans now whereby if you've done it for like 5 years, there's a way that they can be paying you quarterly or half-yearly, depending on the plan that you pick. So yes, we've already learned also as insurance people to understand that those things, we know that in your 20s, you are scared that why am I missing? But your 20s is actually the best time because you have a lower premium, because we understand that your lifespan is
long.
Yeah. Okay, welcome again to another episode of Raise a Parent with Raise a Parent Academy. And you know what we do here? We do not judge any parents. We're here to empower, to make sure you get all the right information you need to parent right. Okay, so we are going right into it. And I came here with the best of the best. And we are talking about what we all love. If you say you don't love it, I will judge you. And I will know you are not saying the truth. Because we all love money. We're going to be talking about money. And I brought your fave. My own personal person, someone I love so much. Tosin has been so supportive. And I'm here and so much happy to welcome Oluwatosin Olaseinde, Money Africa CEO. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, Tosin.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, Tosin. It's good to have you. And I'm so thanks for saying yes to this. I know how your schedule can be. And I'm so thankful that you're here to help us empower parents today. Okay, so I'm going to go right into it and we'll just take a cruise. And so, yeah, why do we have Tosin here? Tosin launched something that is so amazing. Apart from what she does with Money Africa and with us adults, right? She launched something so beautiful, Money Africa and Kids. And Money Africa Kids, when I go through the page and when I go through everything, I see the thoughtfulness in it and I see how intentional, you've built that. So why did you pivot to that?
So every time we speak to parents, they keep saying, oh my gosh, I wish I left this as a child. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why not? Why can't we do it? Because time is a critical role in the journey of a child, especially when it comes to investing. Mm-hmm. Based on research, according to Cambridge study, by the age of 7, a child's mindset about money has been formed.
Wow.
So if it's even just from them convincing you that they want you to buy them ice cream, how they see things, it really, really starts early, right? So are you teaching them survival mindset? Are you teaching them abundance? Are you teaching them opportunity cost? Like, what are you teaching them about children? Because whether you do it or you do not, they are learning. So what are they learning? We wanted to play a role in ensuring that the children are actually getting the right education about money, and we want to be right in front of it.
Right education, starting early. Time is of essence when it comes to that. And I love the perspectives you have come to. Funny thing is, for the previous episodes we've had, the mind has been a very, key part of it. Where does the mind stand when it comes to money?
So we always ask people that what generates wealth? Is it mindset or is it knowledge? Mm-hmm. And people always will say both, and they're right. It's actually both. Yeah. But it gets more interesting. Mindset carries 80% of it, while knowledge carries 20% of it. So it's very important for us to cultivate the right mindset. I love to use this analogy, right?
Okay.
The mind is like the soil, while the knowledge is like the seed. So even if you get the best quality seed ever, and you put that seed into a poor soil, what's going to happen?
It's
that seed is going to die.
It's dead on arrival.
It's not going to flourish and all of that. So people put so much energy into getting the right seed. So they're knowledge. But if you don't put that knowledge in the right mindset, then you're wasting your time. So the knowledge can reform the mindset, and that's our primary goal. So we want to attack and go. Talking about knowledge, people now know stock exists. People know, but are they going to do it? And that's where mindset comes into play. So let's catch them early. Let's start telling them the right things. Let's start informing them really, really early. And we want to play a role in doing that.
Thank you. I love the analogy you've given, the soil. right? The mind is the base. If you don't get it right, every other thing you're doing is not going to come together, right? And so with everything we've been saying at Raise a Parent, and saying that, having the right values, having that conversation with your children, helping them having the right mindset, you can see that it translates to every phase of their life. So we need to take that very importantly and, put it in front of everything we do. And so I'm going to be coming right back to Tosin to ask her this. There was one of your posts that I saw on Instagram whereby you were talking about how money habits are formed, and you said something about money. Sometimes we transfer money habits from our parents, right? So we are here now. We know what we are doing here now is we know that sometimes we mess up, but we want to learn, right? How do we make sure that even if we had practiced wrong money habits, how do we make sure that we don't transfer that to our children? How do we help them navigate all that?
Great, that's a very good question. The way to start thinking of that is, I keep telling parents, if you're looking for motivation in order for you to help your children, you have to start with yourself. Have you ever seen those families that are always going from one debt to another debt? Your child can see your poor spending habits. They can see that as soon as money comes, there's food, there's plenty of things, and then towards the end of the month, there's nothing. Like you guys, you splurged, you wasted, and then you're scrambling at the end of the month. They're not blind, they're watching, right? They're seeing your attitude towards money. So we always tell parents, if you're looking for motivation, in order for you to get it right, start thinking of your kids, because they're learning first from you before they learn from other people.
First teacher.
You're the first teacher. So even things like abundance mindsets, you hear children say, I want to study abroad, and their parents would, because maybe they're living in a one-bedroom flat, they're living somewhere that they know they can just say, where do you want to see the money?
Where do you see that money for? Do you know do you know how much I've spent?
Exactly. So every time we speak to parents, don't shut it down. Leave the pathway open. There's something called scholarship. They could be top of the class. Something could open up. It might not be the first degree, it could be the second degree, but that road that you're playing, you're not going to shut down that pathway. Don't shut it down, right? Allow the dream to happen. So rather, live the dream. Live the dream. You might not have the money to fund it, but don't kill it. So parents are the very first teacher, and you have a very critical role to play there, right? Yeah.
Don't kill it. We should allow our children really dream. I kind of understand sometimes, right? But dreamers rule the world.
Yeah, they do.
They rule the world, and great things actually. Today, Olakai, I'm taking this from you. Big things actually start from small places, and you can actually help them to understand that you're not held back. So we shouldn't cut them off. That's what I'm taking away from what you've said. We should keep them going, allow them to dream, and see all the possibilities that are there. So yeah, great. And what I'm going to take away also from you, and I want us to take that to the next conversation, is when our children are dreaming. They're dreaming. My son told me the other day that, Mommy, we were doing sky gazing, and he said, I want to become an astronaut. I had that feeling in my mind, like, this boy, you want to kill me? How do we then plan around their dreams? How can we plan around their dreams?
It starts with what is accessible. Something as little as actually watching a show, buying small memorabilia, right? The T-shirts, the little items. I have a friend that actually has a section of the wall of the children's room. She printed out. Literally, all she has is a printer and paper, and she pasted there. They wake up every morning. Like
a vision board.
Yes. So the things that are within your reach, from printing out a t-shirt, printing out something, posting on the wall, indulging those dreams in the little, tiniest form. You just want to continue to build those pathways. Those pathways must not die.
They must not die.
Those dreams, they must stay alive. That's your primary job. So you don't have to have the money to fund it.
You don't.
But you want to keep it alive. And just basically showing them what is possible. Introducing them, having those conversations with them early. Right? So we have a particular segment on the app that we talk about teen entrepreneurs or children entrepreneurs, because if you're talking about somebody that started in their 40s, these are kids, right? They can't relate. So tell them something else. So we see this other founder in India, a little girl that started with papers. She has built companies and raised hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So look for somebody that is like them. If they're African children from African background, we have some African kids that have done something like this. So we want to just keep telling them stories that they can relate to, that is not so far off. So we just continue to share and share and share. And then you know how you could plant many seeds. Some of those seeds will flourish, some of them will die. So you just want to continue to throw those seeds in, and let's see which one of them is going to germinate, which one of them is going to flourish.
Which one of them is going to germinate and which one of them are going to flourish. And that brings me to a very, very important part of this conversation. We want them to flourish. We want them to excel. But we need funds to do these things.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm going to split these funds, this financial side of things. I'm going to split it 2 ways. We're going to talk to it about parents, as us parents. How do we build financial resilience to make sure that you help them flourish?
Absolutely.
How do we do that?
So, for instance, if a parent puts as little as $50 every month into S&P 500, let's even say $100 every month into S&P 500, ever since the child is a toddler or a baby, right? Just once a month, and is dedicated towards that child.
Yeah.
By the time the child turns 18, that $100 small by small is now $75,000.
Yeah.
But it gets more interesting. If you leave that money alone, the child does not touch it. On their 30th birthday, $75,000 is now worth $300,000. Imagine your parents giving you a check of $300,000 on your 30th birthday, and all they did was just to deposit $100 for your first 18 years. That is one of the ways. Another thing is also to buy high growth stocks. Right? People that bought Netflix like 14 years ago and did it consistently, or like your Palantir or things like that. But then how would you know if it's a high growth stock or not? So that's why we also always consider things like S&P 500. You also see some parents that also sometimes buy land. Right? They buy it in some obscure areas, hoping that in the next 10, 20 years, those areas, it's actually going to explode. Right? You're basically diversifying those assets, but you have to do something. And in order for you to do something, you need an income, you need skills, you need to have job, because a person that is not eating well, how will you then be able to plan for the future of the child?
Yes.
So these are things to consider. Also, we see lots of people spending so much on school fees. We did a school fees table the other time, and some school fees charging as much as 25
school
million
fees
naira
takes the bulk
in Nigeria. My question to that parent is, God forbid, if anything happens and you do not exist anymore, can that child continue to be in that institution for at least the next 3 years? And if they cannot confidently answer that question, then we have a big problem.
There's a problem.
Right? So insurance also starts playing.
That's where insurance comes
You're
in.
thinking of education, insurance, you're thinking of all these other things. What if anything happens? What is my plan for that child? So it's very encompassing, and you're looking at all the different myriad ways of how to actually protect and plan for those kids.
I'm so happy you brought up insurance, because insurance is my baby. Apadi cover, that's what we do. And one of the challenges we have, especially when we want to talk to Africans about insurance, is like it's a scam. That thing of it's a scam. My children, how am I sure that my children will get this money when they need it? Right? How do I plan around it? What kind of insurances do you, in your line of work, what kind of insurances do you recommend that parents take up to help their children? Even if something happens, right, you still leave your children at a good standing.
We love to talk a lot about life insurance. We've sometimes seen 20-year-olds come and they'll be like, oh, I want to get a life insurance. I say, Kilo, why are you getting life insurance? Like, if anything was going to happen to you, you don't have kids, you don't have a dependent, like, that's not your problem. But the minute you start having a family, there are children, there are things that people dependent on you, that if anything was going to happen to you, their life is going to be destabilized. And of course, we're thinking of that. So life insurance is a great plan. Another thing is this: many people truly think that if they contribute towards a life insurance plan and they live all the way age to 60 and nothing happens to them, they've lost all that
No,
money.
you haven't.
No, you haven't.
No,
right?
you have not.
So people need to know that they're not pouring money into a
basket.
that they are not going to lose everything. And that's what many people think, and that's why they don't do it, right? Also, you have the education insurance
Yes,
plan.
there's education plan.
Right? The education plan, that one is there, right? We also like the good old strategy of also investing in actual assets, right? It's very encompassing, and all these other things that people can actually do in order to secure the future of their children.
Yeah. So you said something about 20s. I want to debunk something. Your 20s is actually the best time to start your life insurance.
But what if they don't have children?
It doesn't matter, actually.
So what happens?
Because it's not really about your children. It's about, your family. And
what if the family is doing okay?
The family can be doing okay, right? But the thing about the premium, the way the premiums are calculated is higher. The older you are, the higher it is. And the more you have to pay. But if you're younger, you're able to finish on time. And then there are even plans now whereby if you've done it for like 5 years, there's a way that they can be paying you quarterly or half-yearly, depending on the plan that you pick. So yes, we've already learned also as insurance people to understand that those things, we know that in your 20s, you are scared that my mom, why am I missing? But your 20s is actually the best time because you have a lower premium, because we understand that your lifespan is
long.
Yeah, it's long,
Fair.
and then so
Fair.
That's how it works. So that, as I say, we've gotten that out of the way. Where I want to go to is, honestly, what we've come to realize is information. People really, really don't know where to start. So I want to start investing for my kid. Is it that, am I going to do it in my name? Will I have to do it in their name? They're not up to 18. All those worries. I want us to remove all that worry for the parents that are watching this, so that they know that this is how I start. Yeah. So that's what
so many people will come and say, oh, we've downloaded Ladder's app and we want to start investing. But
I love Ladder, by the way.
I want to invest for our child, and the child is not yet 18. Then what do they do, right? Because, based on Nigerian standards, you need to have...
You have to,
18 years old and all of that.
BVN.
Exactly, BVN. But now the thing is this, many bank accounts now is giving opportunities whereas parents can attach their children to theirs. So they're the primary one, and then the children's account can be attached to theirs, right? They're creating a linkage as opposed to the children just going ahead and doing that. But there's also counter-argument that you start seeing people at the age of 16, they started university. Many private universities have 16-year-olds.
16-year-olds,
so we always get the 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds sending us DMs. I want to start investing. I have side hustles, but I don't want to do it under my parents. They actually
do.
But I don't want to do it under
I have
my
a full
parents.
stack person that is 16.
You see?
It's full stack.
You see? And I don't want to do it under my parents. I want to do it under my own name. Exactly, what do I do? I guess that's another conversation, right? I start thinking of how do we start, introducing and getting this on, even though they don't have a bank account yet. However, but parents' responsibility, you can attach them to your primary account and get the kids to actually start investing in their name.
In their name.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, for example, I have I just had a baby now, right? What are the to-do lists for me in terms of investments?
Okay, so for instance, in terms of to-do, if you were to put $100 every month into S&P 500, it's an index fund that tracks 500 of the largest companies in the U.S. By the time this child hits the age of 18, that fund is now worth $75,000. You leave it for another 12 years, it's now worth $310,000. So we highly, highly always recommend this S&P index, right? It's a fantastic way to go about it. That's one thing that we always recommend. Number two, we're thinking about once you have kids, you shared now that you can also start thinking of it before. But life insurance, fantastic one as well. We've seen lots and lots of cases where the parents died, child is 10, the payout premium, fantastic, was able to cover education amongst others. Another one as well is also the education insurance, right? Another one that parents do not think about enough is also disability insurance.
Actually.
Right? What if, God forbid, you really fall sick? You're not dead, you're alive, but you're unable to work.
You're unable to.
What then happens to that child? Also, another one is also if I lose my job temporarily, those 3 months, 6 months
job loss,
insurance plan, right? So in those 3 months, the children will still eat. They need to put on the light. You understand? Life goes on. What is the plan for all those things?
So insurance is not a scam.
It's not.
Yeah, insurance is what you use to. It helps you to balance your finances, really, and it stops you from money that you should be investing. It stops you from dipping into it for
Absolutely.
emergencies, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to move right to the children.
Great.
Because, we said something at the beginning, the mind,
Yes.
right, is where the soil is.
Yes.
And, sometimes people will say, trust fund babies. Trust fund baby. Me, I'm Lapo, Nepo. That thing has been trending, and I'm wondering, at the end of the day, what's the back at the back of it is still finance, right?
Yeah.
So how do we empower our children to manage finances properly?
We want to start talking to them early. We want to start giving them something to, I wouldn't use the word play with, but to test with, right? The other time I was in a store and I saw a little girl telling her mom that, if I get this one, I cannot get that one. I was like, oh my gosh, fantastic. She's learning opportunity cost.
Delayed gratification.
Exactly. Delayed gratification, opportunity cost, prioritizing, amongst others. Also, I've also seen families where that monthly grocery list that they do, they involve the children. So many children do not actually know the value of these things. I saw a video of teenagers in the UK, and they were asking them that what mind-blowing money would change their life do they want? Guess how much she said?
How much?
£200.
Come on.
Exactly. So imagine a teenager thinking £200 is mind-blowing money. So that is their mind has not yet comprehended
how vast
it is, right? So we want to start introducing them also to different currencies, right? For those kids that are in Nigeria, they know that this is pounds, this is dollars. We start inducting them early. We start teaching them what is an index fund early. By the time they're 10, 11, 12, how about compounding? The earlier you start, interest is money, interest on top of my interest. You understand? Just introducing them to it. So they might not use it immediately, but what they are doing is that we're creating those pathways, and those pathways are very important. Because if you would teach these children about all these other subjects that they might not need immediately, so why not money as well?
Why not money?
And you could even have a junior entrepreneur there with you. But I became an entrepreneur in my 30s, but I felt that based on what I saw back then, I felt like I had to work, and only when I'm in my 30s and 40s can I then start a company. But we're seeing younger and younger entrepreneurs, 16, 17, 15. So this is already happening. So why should you stop them?
I love the fact that I love this angle that you have taken this conversation to, because these are realities that, we are facing. You have a talented child. That child has a creative mind. The child is either doing animation. Like I said, I have a mentee. He's 16. His mom practically said, this boy is interested in tech. You are the one I know that, understand. Just help me mentor him. He's a full stack engineer, but he has to go to school. And one of the key questions that his mom will ask me is, I want him to focus on school. I don't want him to get distracted, because to her, that being a full stack. And then we have other kids too, whereby they have those entrepreneurial spirits. I'm into photography. From your experience, because I know you work with a lot of children, especially with Money Africa kids that you're coming up with. From your experience, how do you think parents can help their kids, still nurture that entrepreneurial spirit and still help them focus in school, that they don't feel like they one have to give for the other?
That's a very good question. You also just want to show them. Now, I also want to put this into context. As children or as people that have a certain background, you just really have to be honest. You cannot bargain with education.
Yes.
So, right.
True.
So a lot of people say, but this person dropped out and all of that. If you go and check, they've already had like a first degree, or they come from a lot of privilege.
Yes.
So we also have to have those honest conversations with the children.
Honest.
And data does not lie. All those billionaires that you speak about, how many of them have a first degree? Guess what? When we say it was over 75%.
Wow.
Right? And even a higher percentage had second degrees, and many of them went to Ivy Leagues. So the numbers are there. So don't use that outlier story of one person dropping out, right, to then say, that's why I'm not going to get a degree. And also, if you also come from a certain race, the odds are against you, and you have to work twice as hard. So honest conversations. Show them these are people that look like you. What have they done? Right? So we cannot compare ourselves to Lagbaja that comes from X family and can afford to drop out. It is not it is not an option.
It's a foundational thing.
Exactly, it's a foundational thing. So show the numbers, show the data, show them people that look like that, and also show them mentors, right? Mentors usually help. I want to see somebody that looks like me that has done it. What was their background? What did they do? Or somebody that has been in a similar situation. I had to choose between school and studying. It's just 3 years, right? 3-4 years. Do it. Do it because it comes back to bite you. There are many opportunities that they will be asking, where's the degree?
Yes, the degree.
And I've seen that happen a lot. So after what? They're now in their 30s, they're trying to go back to school because they just did not do it then. Do it.
Go to school.
You must not drop
out. Go to school.
Especially as a black child, you have no business dropping out. The odds are not in that favor. You have to go to school, right? And the data is telling you have to go to. I follow the numbers. The numbers is telling you have to be in school.
Talent is good.
Yeah.
Education is better. Makes you not like education is not something you should have, but you should make sure you are educated so that even when it helps. Funny thing is, it earns your talent.
Yeah.
It makes you go further with that talent. So let's not say, okay, we are leaving one for one. Education is important.
And it's just 4 years.
It's just 4 years. I want you to talk about Money Africa Kids.
Yeah, so in terms of Money Africa Kids, we're very excited about it. We want to make it fun. We want to make it interesting. We don't want it to look like a chore or something laborious, something exciting. So think of Duolingo.
Yeah.
Right? When we built Money Africa Kids, we actually had Duolingo in mind.
Yeah.
Right? A fun, engaging, gamified way of teaching children about money.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to look like, oh my gosh, this is a job, this is an assignment, this is a homework. I want it to be like, it's fun. It's fun. I was looking at the statistics, and one in every 15 American is a USD millionaire in dollars.
Wow.
In Nigeria, it's 1 in every 22,300 people.
That's a lot.
Find a millionaire in dollars. Look at what's happening in the US. The margins are crazy, right? In the whole of Nigeria, the data by Henley Wealth Partners was saying that there are just 8,320 USD millionaires. So let's even say that they are lying, they did not do their research well. Let's even say that only 200,000 of us are millionaire in dollars. Those are poor numbers. So don't be deceived with social media on all of that. The numbers, what is the numbers saying? So we actually need these kids to step up. We want them to be exposed. We want them to learn. We want them to do fast. 70% of Africa's population are under the age of 30. So that's our future. They are the ones we are hoping and we are counting on them.
Yes.
And then we want to start inducting them faster. So are the Chinese foolish that they are teaching their children about tech, money, all of it very early? Are the Americans foolish, right? The numbers are showing you that this is what they're doing with their numbers. So why should we lag behind and wait for that conversation? You see people, they're 35, they're asking me, so what is a mutual fund? That conversation should have been had when they were early.
So the reality is we have the opportunity to do it better as parents.
We have to get it right.
Yeah, because we have no excuses. The information is there. Money Africa is there. Money Africa Kids is there. And you should be downloading that. You know, I've had some conversation with Tosi on, you know, some areas, you know, and I know she's going to work on it.
Yeah.
Just for you guys, because I love you guys.
Yes. We
so
currently
much.
have the mobile and iOS app, but we're thinking of the website and we're going to do it.
So we're going to, because I know we want to make sure that our children are safe and all that, but don't worry, we got you. Please. I can assure you that the Money Africa Kids platform is very educative, very, very educative. So please hook your children up and let them start early. So if you're to round up, we always do this, right? We want you to say 3 things that you want parents to take away from the session and you want them to hold there and learn from.
So number 1, many parents think, it's too early to start speaking to their children about money. Whether you do it or you do not, they are learning. TikTok will teach them. Yes.
TikTok will teach them.
So if you leave it to outsiders. Don't play front row in talking to your children about money. Other people will teach them. Number 2, the earlier the better. You might be sitting down with a small Dangote in your house.
Speak it.
But how would you know? So don't let it be a case of, I wish my parents had. Teach them. Then the last but not the least, do you know that for every family that has seen wealth, only 10% of them pass the money to the 3rd generation. So your parents worked so hard, you finally worked hard, you've bought that house, you've done everything. If you do not do that job of teaching those children now, guess what's going to happen? when you die, they will sell it, they will eat it, and they will not pass it to your
No
grandkids.
sustainability.
There will be no sustainability, right? We've seen lots and lots of stories. There's no generational wealth. So if you like, fold your arms or do something to ensure that when you're not here anymore, they are doing what? They are passing the baton to the next generation. Thank you.
Sustainable wealth, building sustainable wealth for the next generation. You know what? It has been. I knew this session was going to be loaded, and I'm so glad that we touched on all the areas we wanted to look at. See, you can never start too early with your kids, right? Make it important. Money is important. Money is important. Let's normalize talking about money. Money is not that thing that you don't want to tell your children about. No, talk about it. Let them know how you spending money. You also, as a parent, you have to say now, Money Africa. Just say, I'm a raise a parent's parent, and she will listen to you, right? And just, make sure you take those opportunities to learn more also and educate yourself in doing it. But insurance is important. Managing your finances is important. Please.
And role modeling.
Role modeling is important. And please teach your children. We want generational wealth, right? We don't want wealth that sticks to one generation. No, we want to pass it on. So thank you. And I hope you learned so much from this. Tosi, thank you so much for being an awesome guest on this.
I love it.
It has been a wonderful session. And I hope you guys, please, once you watch this episode, make sure you go to Money Africa Kids and also go to Tosi's handle on Instagram to say thank you for that powerful session. All right? Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Subscribe to my mommy's YouTube channel. Raise a parent now.